A sound that seemed out of place on a tranquil suburban street shattered the silence. The deep growl of Harley engines roared through the afternoon, reminiscent of thunder breaking a calm sky. 4 bikers appeared, their black vests emblazoned with the fierce emblem of the Hells Angels, casting long shadows on the warm pavement. Neighbors peered through drawn curtains, mothers ushered their children inside, and even the breeze seemed to pause. Yet amidst the cacophony of rumbling engines, a smaller, softer voice emerged, trembling with innocence and urgent desperation. "Sir, will you buy my bike?" The men eased their rides to a stop, engines purring low. On the curb stood a little girl no older than 6, her hair tousled and her dress too pristine compared to her scuffed shoes. Beside her, a pink bicycle with a white basket awaited a new owner, while she clutched a cardboard sign reading, "For sale." The smallest, perhaps the gentlest of the bikers, killed his engine and dismounted. The others followed, their heavy boots thudding against the pavement. He knelt before the child, the shine of his bike reflecting behind her, a stark contrast to the harshness of reality. Her name was Myra, and her eyes held a weariness that should not be present in a child's gaze. In the distance, an older woman sat slumped against a tree, wrapped in a blanket, looking pale and frail. As Myra spoke again, gripping her sign tighter, the biker felt a lump form in his throat. "Please, sir, Mommy hasn't eaten in 2 days. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, in standing up when the world turns its back, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Stories like this remind us that compassion can still make a difference." The biker's name was Ryder. Though his brothers called him Wolf, the moniker never truly fit. Beneath the tattoos and leather lay a man burdened by loss, an absent father, a son who never returned home, and a faith in humanity that seemed long lost. Yet that day, kneeling on the hot pavement, he felt something awaken within him. He gently asked Myra to explain, and through shaky breaths and small tears, she shared her story. Her mother, Clara, had worked for a respected local catering company owned by Mr. Hensley, a CEO renowned for his charming smile on magazine covers and his charitable donations. When the company downsized, Clara was among those let go. She had pleaded for just a few more weeks to support her daughter, but Hensley dismissed her, saying she was easily replaceable. Since then, Clara had struggled to find new work, her strength dwindling as bills piled up and the fridge emptied, her pride preventing her from seeking help. Myra, wanting to help, decided to sell her only toy, her pink bicycle, for food. Ryder felt something inside him snap, like the last thread holding back years of pent-up anger. His brothers, Tank, Viper, and Mason recognized that look all too well. Without needing to speak, they nodded in understanding. It wasn't pity they felt, but a fierce rage born from witnessing the innocent suffer at the hands of greed. Ryder reached into his vest, pulled out his wallet, and pressed a bundle of cash into Myra's small, trembling hand. "Keep the bike, kiddo," he said softly, his voice thick with emotion. But this was just the beginning for him. He couldn't simply ride away knowing powerful men had taken everything from a mother and her child. He instructed Myra to stay with her mother, promising he would return, and soon the engines roared back to life. The Hells Angels were no saints, but they had their own sense of justice. That day they didn't resort to guns or violence, they wielded the power of truth. They located Hensley's office, a towering glass structure gleaming in the sunlight, a symbol of arrogance. The 4 men strode in like thunder following a storm, their boots echoing on the marble floors. The receptionist froze in place. Ryder's gaze locked onto Hensley through the glass wall of his office, a man adorned with a gold watch, a counterfeit smile, and hands that had never known honest labor. "What is this?" Hensley sneered as they entered. Ryder didn't raise his voice. Instead, he placed the cardboard sign on the CEO's immaculate desk, the same one Myra had held. "That," he said quietly, "is what your greed has cost." For the first time, the polished businessman appeared unsettled. Ryder recounted Myra's story, detailing the mother starving beneath a tree and the bicycle that held more love than all of Hensley's cars combined. Hensley stuttered feebly about business and layoffs, but his excuses faltered in the face of the righteous fury in the biker's eyes, a fire driven by morality, not criminality. They didn't need to hurt him. Instead, Ryder leaned closer and said, "You can't buy forgiveness, but you can choose to do what's right." By sunset, news spread throughout the town that the CEO who once fired a struggling mother had anonymously donated a year's worth of groceries to families in need, cleared hospital debts for single parents, and rehired those he wronged. The reason for his change of heart remained a mystery to all, save for a few rugged men and a little girl with a pink bike. When Ryder and his brothers returned to the tree that evening, Myra rushed toward them, her eyes bright with happiness. Clara stood nearby, still weak but finally smiling after weeks of sorrow. The sunlight illuminated her face, and Ryder noticed her hand tremble as she attempted to express her gratitude. He simply nodded, tipping his head as their engines cooled beside them. "You don't owe us anything," he said. "Just promise you'll never give up." That night they shared bread, the bikers, the woman, and the little girl who sold her bike not for toys but for love. The sunset cast a golden hue across the chrome, the grass, and the folded cardboard sign resting in Myra's lap. For a brief moment the world felt a little less broken. If this story has moved you, if it has shown you that kindness can emerge from the most unexpected places, take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Every click helps spread stories of true kindness to those who need it most. And before we conclude, share in the comments below what you would have done if you were in Ryder's shoes. Because sometimes, a single act of courage is all it takes to restore belief in kindness.